Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to our session on Community Cloud and Content Management. I'm Kusum Kanwar. I'm a product manager with Community Cloud, and with me is Sapna Unyal. She's a lead developer on our team. I'm going to start with the most exciting slide, the obligatory forward-looking statement. Please make all purchase decisions based on what's in the product today. So for all those of you who don't know about Community Cloud is your window into the #1 CRM platform. It allows you to build branded digital experiences using our digital experience platform. And today we're going to talk about how you can deliver personalized content within communities using a lot of our features, including CMS Connect and our native content management tool. So I want to first of all, thank you all for being here, and thank you for being customers of Salesforce. And let's look at what the Community Cloud platform brings you. So you have self-service, you have account portals. There's so many different use cases that Community Cloud serves you. And all of this is using our digital experience platform. And our digital experience platform, we support SEO, branding. We have a whole host of features with CDN. We're going to be talking about that here and as well as in our booth. And then you can look at, we have theming. So we have all of these awesome features so that you can really represent your brand and your content with your presentation layer within Salesforce. And so today we're going to talk to you about 2 ways that content can be surfaced within Community Cloud. We have 2 features. The first one is CMS Connect. So if you already have a content management system and you want to leverage all of the content that you've created, blogs, news, articles, headers, footers, anything that's representing your brand, you can seamlessly integrate this into communities. In addition to that, we're also investing in our own lightweight content management platform. The first pilot of this is coming out in our summer release, and I'm going to be talking to you briefly about that at the end of this session. So let's start first and talk about CMS Connect, and Sapna is going to help you figure out what that feature is. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sapna Unyal, and I represent Community Cloud Salesforce. So as Kusum said, we have CMS Connect with us, which is so powerful to bring all your web content from any other CMS system into your Salesforce community. So we have 2 types of CMS Connect JSON and CMS Connect HTML. So I'll cover the CMS Connect HTML first. So let's have a look. So yes, CMS Connect is now GA, and the best part is it's free for all community editions. So CMS Connect is so powerful to bring all your web content from any other CMS system into your Salesforce community. So when I say it can bring all your web content, it doesn't bring only static content. It actually brings all your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript along with it. So thank you, Kusum. So let's have a look on the architectural part of CMS Connect. So to bring all your content from CMS system to your community, we does a public XHR call to your CMS system. And it is a fresh XHR call every time. So we don't cache the data here. It's all real time. The latest data we bring into your community. As well as think about the scenarios when your customer wants to have any website on any CMS system and wants to bring header, footer, and logo, everything into your Salesforce community as well, so that their customer can have similar branding experience across all the web properties of them. So in that case, CMS Connect HTML will be the best choice for them. So let's move on to another flavor of CMS Connect. That is CMS Connect JSON. It is so powerful to bring all your web content from any other CMS system which supports JSON APIs. And for example, your customer wants to bring a list of blogs, articles, images, files, etc. in the form of list into your Salesforce community. So in that case, we have CMS Connect JSON for you. As far as your CMS system supports JSON APIs, that can bring you a structured JSON payload, you can very well use CMS Connect JSON and bring all your list of blogs, content, articles, everything into Salesforce community. So as I said, CMS Connect doesn't come alone. It comes with many rich features within it. So CMS Connect JSON we are going to release the richest feature in this summer. That is the all detailed pages of CMS Connect will be now SEO friendly, and all these pages will now be searchable on any search engine on internet. And apart from this, till now we were supporting only public connection with CMS Connect JSON. That means you were able to only bring public content using CMS Connect JSON. But now in this summer onwards, you will be able to bring all your authenticated data into your Salesforce community using CMS Connect JSON. We also support federated search for content discoverability into Salesforce community. So to understand the feature more, let's move on to the demo. So I'm going to demo first CMS Connect HTML, using which you can bring all your web content along with CSS and JavaScript into your Salesforce community. So I'm taking an example of website of AEM. I have this website, Capricorn Cafe, built upon CMS system AEM, Adobe Experience Manager. So I'm going to bring this header and this footer into my community. So have a look. This is my community, cafe owner community, and you can see I have just brought in this header and this footer from that actual website using CMS Connect HTML. So when I use CMS Connect HTML, we bring the data as it is on actual website. There will be no difference. It will be actually exactly similar in look and feel with all your JS and CSS. So let's see how let's have a look on this AEM server, where I can see this banner for footer, header footers, HTML fragment that I'm just going to bring into my community. So you can see this is a relative path to this AEM server. And now I will bring all this web content into my Salesforce community. So before we use this CMS Connect HTML, we have to establish a connection with external CMS system that is AEM right now. So what you have to do, you have to create a new connection, give it a name as per your choice, select a CMS source name like AEM for now, select the connection type public, and give server URL here. And here you have to give the relative path to that content where my content is residing, the HTML fragment, along with this language placeholder. After this, you can give the relative path of your CSS and JavaScript in these sections. And soon after this, you have to configure language mapping. So for example, your English content on WordPress on CMS system is inside EN folder, and the French content is inside FR folder. So respectively, you can give the folder names and map it with Salesforce languages like EN for English and French for French, FR for French. So now your customers will now be able to see French customer will see the French content, and English customer will see the English content. So here we are done with connection creation. Now this connection is ready to use for CMS Connect HTML. So let's see how we can configure the header and footer to bring in this community, which I have just already done it. So under this setting part, you will see a CMS Connect tab. Here you have to just select that connection, which I have just selected, Capricorn Cafe, and give it the fragment name. And similarly, you have to do for footer, and here we go. You will find the header and this footer coming from your website. Along with it, we also provide you one more way of bringing this content using CMS Connect HTML. We provide an out-of-the-box component, CMS Connect HTML here. It is very simple to configure. You can just drag and drop it here. And so similar to header footer, you have to just select the connection. And for suppose I want to bring a banner here from that actual website. So you can just use and tab out. You can see just now I have bring in the real-time banner here from AEM website. So now you can understand the power of the CMS Connect HTML where you can bring all your web content as it is with a similar exact look and feel into your Salesforce community. So yeah, that's all for this CMS Connect HTML for now. Let's move on to CMS Connect JSON. So for example, your customer wants to bring list of blocks. We can, yeah. So for this demo, I'm going to take an example of WordPress website. So I'll take an example of WordPress website, which has multiple blocks inside it. So for coffee lovers, we have this website. And I'm going to bring multiple coffee blocks inside my Salesforce community. So I'm going to bring all. So you can see my WordPress website, actual website, where you see multiple coffee blocks. So let's see how we can bring it into my community now. So you can see this is my pre-configured instance of CMS Connect JSON. And I have bring in my all coffee blocks here. And when I click on it, it goes to a detail page where you can see your full-fledged coffee blog. So I see, I think it's a, yeah. So it will give you a detail page where you can see the full-fledged coffee blog.
It's OK. We can move on.
So I think it's taking time. So let's see how really we can configure it. So before, it is just a drag and droppable component. Here you see CMS Connect JSON. You will just have to drag and drop and configure it. I have just already done it. So let's see before we configure it, you have to create a connection with external WordPress server where my actual website residing. So let's see how we can really configure it. You have to give it a name and select the CMS source, which is right now WordPress. Select the connection type, public for now, and give the server URL here. And now you can configure the JSON part of it. You have to configure detail and list part here, and give the relative path of detail, blog, and list blog here. You have to give a unique identifier for detail page here. And apart from, now you are done with connection creation with the WordPress server. So let's see how really we can use this in Builder. So you have to just drag and drop the component here, CMS Connect JSON, and select the CMS source. Like I have just created a connection Capricorn. Select the CMS source Capricorn here. Select the JSON content, like list here for now. And then you have to configure the list node path and everything here. So let me explain you how you can do it. Before that, I want to show you the JSON payload written by your JSON API of WordPress server. So here you see, this is my JSON payload written by your JSON APIs. So this is the starting node path of blocks, which is right now post. And then inside it, you can see my 3 blocks are there. I'm going to bring in all these blocks where you can see the name, title, and date, and the content, and etc. So I'm going to bring all this content inside my CMS Connect JSON. So similarly, here you give list node path, post, and select the list layout, which is right now I have selected grid. After that, you have to give the pagination parameters here, like items per page and columns inside the grid. And then you have to select item layout, like card for now. And then you have to map JSON data with the component layout fields. For example, in place of title, you want to show the title from the payload, JSON payload. And in place of author, you want to show the author name. So, and so on. So for example, I can show you the analysis of the JSON payload. For example, author is shown by author/name because it is a nested part. And for title, you can see it is direct @title. So the convention we are using to fill this mapping here is using JSON pointer specification. You have to start with @. And after that, you have to give the link text, which is by default read more, and select the type community page for detailed pages. And once you click on save, it will create an auto-configured detailed page for you, and you are done. Once you publish the page, it will work like seamlessly. You have to just click on read more, and it will navigate to a detailed page where you can see your full-fledged data of coffee blog. So I can show you that somewhere else.
OK.
So Mercy's law, actually effective. So
Should we go on?
here you go, Kusum.
All right. Great. Thank you, Sapna.
Yeah.
So thanks for showing that. And briefly, I'm going to talk about the next feature that we're releasing in the summer. Winter will be beta, but for summer, it's a limited pilot. So just like you saw that we have the ability to bring content from an external content management system into communities, you can now create content natively in Salesforce. We'll be investing in our own lightweight CMS. And I'm going to actually walk you through our designs for this. So in the community workspace, we'll have a new a workspace called Native Web Content. Let's click on it, and then you'll see that we'll be able to show you all kinds of content that you're using in the community, how it's being viewed, what are the statistics around it, what types of content. We're looking to also add things like workflow and analytics to this. But let's say if you want to create a new piece of content, we'll provide some out-of-the-box content types. In the summer pilot, this is going to be the news content type. So let's go ahead and create a content. And if you create news, it gives you a form, a structured form, where you can enter this content. And based on, let's enter a title, a body, an excerpt. Let's select an image. So it basically allows you to create content natively and save it, and will also give you all of the workflow with the content, like draft, publish. You can set the security of the content, assign an audience to it, so you can target this particular content to the audience for whom it's most relevant. You can also add topics. So this will allow you to dynamically retrieve the content at a later stage in the community by topics. And then you can have multiple translations for this content. So in this example, we're adding French and Spanish. And then let's go ahead and save a draft and publish this content. You can publish it immediately, or you can schedule publishing. Now, the benefit of us building this in a microservices architecture is this content is now available to you to use within different presentation formats. So the content is not tied to the presentation. So let's go to the builder, and we'll see how this content can be represented in multiple layouts. So we'll drag and drop a component on the page. We'll take the content list component, and by default, it will show you different sources of content. So we'll select native web content. And then in this example, because we created a news, so we'll select the news item. But you could have different types of content. It's showing you all of the content that's showing. Let's filter that by featured. So we're going to add a filter and just show featured news. And in addition to that, we can also show this content in different layouts. So right now, it's showing you a grid layout. We can also now change it to a list layout. This is just an example. This could be a carousel, a banner. So the idea is that your content is now multifaceted. It can be represented across many different layouts, and we're also looking to open up the ability for you to create your own layouts, as well as for you to create your own content types. All right, so thank you very much for attending this session. I'd like to just end with a couple of slides on some of the other sessions for communities. So if you're not familiar with communities, please check out some of our sessions today and tomorrow. And you can always follow us and reach us on our Success Community group. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.